This is a great question, which I really wanted to tackle. Can HRT stop your periods, and is it supposed to? And also, can HRT bring your periods back? So let's break this down on how it works and what to expect. The most important thing is we also need to think about the types of HRTs that we have. We have continuous HRT. So this is a type of HRT that you take daily without any breaks, and it can stop your periods entirely, because what it does is it suppresses the lining of the uterine or the lining of the womb. Now, some spotting might occur initially, but usually resolves over time. It's normal to start spotting when you start HRT within the first 3 months. Continuous HRT, we start this regime traditionally for women who are postmenopausal. So you've had 12 months or 1 year and 1 day without a period. And that could be that you're taking patches and Utrogestan every day without a break, and that's continuous. These two, you never stop, and they're running side by side. With this, your bleeding shouldn't start. With cyclical HRT, this mimics your natural cycle by having breaks in the progesterone component. So normally we would say take progesterone, but then for 2 weeks or from day 14 to day 26 or whatever regime that your doctor's told you, that you actually stop taking your progesterone if you're taking this alongside your patches, for example. By having this break in your progesterone component, and this could be in the Everil Sequi patches as well, then what happens is you get a withdrawal bleed, and that's similar to a period. Now, these can be lighter, but they could also be unpredictable and might vary from your natural period. This is normal. Normally, this type of cyclical HRT we give to perimenopausal women in their perimenopausal phase of their transition. But I should caveat that in the perimenopausal phase, so you're having periods and menopausal symptom, any bleeding that's heavy and causing you pain, or you're having unscheduled vaginal bleeding that is abnormal for you, please always get that checked out. Don't just assume it's because you're taking breaks in your HRT. I should also caveat the fact that regardless of which regime you're on, whether that's continuous combined or cyclical combined HRT, then once we start you on hormone replacement therapy or HRT, it can cause a vaginal bleed in the first 3 months of initiation, and every time a dose adjustment is made. That's why it's so important to know the type of regime that you're on and for you to track your bleeding as well. Remember, we are replacing your body with hormones that naturally decrease as we get older, but estrogen affects the lining of the womb and can lead to a thickness if given on its own. Hence why we have to give you progesterone to suppress the lining of the womb and stop a bleed in the postmenopausal phase. So remember, as I said, if you've had 1 year, 1 day without a period. Now, in the perimenopausal phase, we just want to support your body in the HRT that we give you, and therefore we don't always need to suppress the lining as much as if you were postmenopausal. Now, the bit that throws everyone and everything that I said out the window is if you have the Mirena coil. So it's sitting there in your womb like this. So although this is a contraceptive, the levonorgestrel can double up as the progesterone component of your HRT, but it is a synthetic version, progestogen, and it's not the same as the micronized progesterone that you would get, which is body identical. So if this is in, this will stop your bleeds as well as give you the progesterone component of the HRT, and you can use this alongside, say, your estrogel or your patches or your gels or spray. It is a very low dose progestogen, and it suppresses the lining whilst you're able to add in any other HRTs, whether that's testosterone or whether that's estrogen alone in itself. And as this is low dose, it gives 20 micrograms of progestogen, so it's slightly synthetic, the levonorgestrel component, over 5 years, and it gives a little bit of progesterone back into the body. So it's got multiple ways that the Mirena work, but I completely understand it's not for everybody, but it's well worth thinking about this if you want to stop your periods and have as a part of your HRT component. I hope that's been helpful. As always, leave some questions. I'll do some more videos later on.